welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we're going to be taking a look at a puzzle called Grodus by Jakhob and wooferzfg. Now I have to confess, I had no idea what or who a Grodus was, so I typed it into Google and I discovered that Grodus is, believe it or not, a Super Mario character. Now I have played Super Mario games, but I've never seen Grodus to my knowledge, but it did tickle me because if you look at Grodus's staff, the sort of orb and scepter here, you can see that there is a similarity between the sort of the orbs and lines in this grid, which is a double arrow Sudoku. I haven't done many double arrow puzzles, so I might be quite bad at this. I'm not sure. But yes, I can sort of understand why it's called Grodus, having discovered now what Grodus is. Anyway, what do I have to tell you about before I read you the rules of this one? I don't have much. I need to say a very happy birthday to Brendan, who I think turns 42 today, and your wife Karen, Brendan, she wrote to us and told us that today was the big day. She also said that you were quite keen on reminding her that she's 9 months older than you and therefore born in a different decade. Which struck me as quite funny, but also quite harsh. But anyway, I hope you have a brilliant day today. I think are you in Illinois? Northern Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I hope there's lots of cake and a lot of fun to be had. Other than that, not much to tell you. We've got Domino Sudoku out. You know that already. Our new app. We're very proud of it. Do check it out. And loads of you have been munching your way through the monthly reward over on Patreon. Many thousands of correct entries now. It's quite incredible. It is going to break all records. So if you are a patron of the channel and you haven't finished it yet, do check that out. You should be able to do it, no doubt at all. Now, all that said and done, let's have a look at this double arrow puzzle and I will read you the rules. We've got a normal Sudoku rules apply. The lines and circles are double arrows, i.e. the sum of the digits on the line must equal the sum of the digits in its end circles. So let's look at those two cells for a moment and see if we can understand that. It also says that digits may repeat if allowed by other rules. I realise my phone is buzzing at me. And that's fine, that's Mark. So what we have to do is we have to add the circles on both sides of this line here. And let's try and put. I didn't say her name. I can't connect you. Honestly, I meant to put 4 in there, but Alexa wants to talk to us as well. Let's make that 9. So 4 plus 9 is 13. So we would need the blue cells to add up to 13. I think that's how the rule works, and that allows the constructors. You can see that Jakhob and wooferzfg. What they've done here is they've created these sort of lattice patterns, which are quite interesting, which you'd never get in a normal arrow Sudoku. So anyway, do have a go. The way to play is click link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And I've got no real instinct as to where to start these puzzles, I have to say. I've got a length 4 line there, which I think is the longest line. I'm just trying to check that. I've got a sort of kinky 3 cell line there. I think everything else is either 2 or 1. Okay, so let's think about the sum of this one then. This is adding up to a minimum of 13. If we put 1, 3, 4 and 5 on there, we get 13. So that means these two circles have to add up to at least 13, and that's not very helpful actually, because, well, I'm not even going to pencil mark it, because you could go 4 and 9 for example, but if the minimum digit on here is a 4, and that means basically all we're able to eliminate from these two circles is 1, 2 and 3. So what's this doing? So this is telling us that those two cells. Oh, right, that's weird. Right, okay, so right, normally when you do an arrow Sudoku, the arrow cells have to be less than the circle cell because the arrow cells sum to the circle. But here, because you have 2 circles, you can have this weird situation where there's one arrow cell that is itself the sum of the circled cells, so it sort of reverses the logic. Right, so what does that mean? beyond the fact that it all gets complicated? I don't know. So where we've got one cell arrows, there are a few of those dotted around. We've got to be, no, that's not one there. We've got to be more careful about how they sum. I'm not really seeing what that's doing, I have to say. Okay, what about that cell? That's an interesting cell I can see. Right, so here is a little bit of interesting logic. This sort of tuning fork that we've got here, where does red go in box 6? Now, obviously it can't go in those cells by Sudoku. So the question I want to ask is, can it be in any of those 4 cells? And I think the answer is no, because if, for example, it was here, we know these 2 circles sum to these 2 digits. So if those are the same, then those must be the same to make the mathematics work. And if these are the same, you've got a definite problem with Sudoku, either in column 7 or box 6. You take your choice, and either will be broken. So that digit is a circle digit. That digit must be in one of those 2 positions in, oh, I tried to make those red. This digit goes into a circle. So whichever circle it, let's say it goes into this circle, these 2 cells are even. They sum to an even number. I know this is not a brilliant deduction, but because they sum to 2 red must be even, so 2 times red must be an even number, so those 2 have to add to an even number. So if that was double 2, this could be a 1 and a 3. If that was double, oh, in fact, no, that's stupid, because these don't have to themselves be even, they just sum to an even number. Because it's 2, but it could be 2 times 5 equals 10, so... okay, this... I thought that was going to be really powerful, but maybe it's not. So I'm just wondering if that was red, does that break something down here? No, because we've got kinky arrows down here, so I don't have the same sort of considerations. Oh dear, sorry, I'm clearly inexpert at this type of Sudoku. Okay, this one, it's not really very long. In fact, the geometry of that one is the same all but as the geometry of this one. It feels like if you're going to build a puzzle, it's more likely to revolve around the lattice, isn't it? Maybe it's this one again then. So we've got 1, 3, 4 and 5. Minimum. 13. Oh, I see. Right, okay. So what you can't do here... No, right, I've got rid of the 4. I've got rid of the 4 from these 2 cells, because to have a 4 in one of those circles, you'd have to have a 9 with it. And that breaks because of this 1 cell arrow, or 1 cell arrow logic. Because if one of these is a 9, they're both attached to 1 cell arrows, those 2 cells. So let's try and make that 9 and see what happens. If we make that 9, because this is the sum of 9 plus another digit, it's got to be a double digit number, and that's not going to work. And the same is true obviously if that is 9. So if you can't put 9 into a circle here, you can't have 4 on the other side. So actually we've got rid of 2 possibilities from these circles, because we've got rid of the 4 and we've got rid of the 9. So now we've got just 5, 6, 7 and 8 left. Now that digit, and so the green digits now have to be higher than these digits, because we're adding these 2 digits. Well, we're adding this digit to that to get this, and we're adding this digit to that to get this, nori nori. So these circles have got to be a maximum of 4, haven't they? The maximum we could add to 5, which is the minimum these circles could be, would be a 4. So those digits have to be at least 6. And Right, so I'm now wondering whether there's some sort of low digit problem in the top row in these two digits. So do these have to be quite low, or could they be? I know they could. I mean, if that was 8 and that was 7, these add to 15. No, you could actually have quite a high digit up here, so that's not actually a problem. But you can't. Okay, but you can't put both of those digits here. There's something going on. There's definitely something going on here. So these purple digits have to find a home in box 2. Where? Yes, I've got it. Well, I've got something. That digit is one of these two digits, because where do these purple digits go in box 2? Well, they're clearly not in those cells, and they're not in the 1, 2, 3, 4 circles. Now, what happens if both of them are up here? Well, if they're both up there, then this line, which in total adds to the 2 purple cells, is broken, because we'd have to put 00 along it to make it add up, given we've got 2 purple cells on it. So that's impossible, which means that one of the purple cells will have to live there, because that's the only place it can live. And the other purple cell will live up here. Okay, alright, now I'm being slow again. Right, okay, so if this is one of the purple cells, we can actually determine which one it is, because it's not that one. Because that one plus that one equals that one. So these cannot be the same. So that means that one is the same as this one. Okay, that's very, very cool. I'll make those yellow. So this one must go up on the line. And this, well, this one now can't be 5. How's this working? Hang on. So this one can't be 9, so that can't be 9. So this can't be 8 anymore. So this can't be 4 anymore, because this can't be 9. So actually it's weird the way that these lines can be, you can sort of whittle away at them. And now this line, oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Right. Oh, it's just going to fall. It's just going to fall, this. Right. Okay. So now let's think about this line. Because remember that these 4 cells sum to purple plus yellow. But we know that purple is on the line somewhere. So the other 3 digits add up to yellow. But there's a 2 in the row. So if this was a 6, then we'd have to put 1, 2, 3 and purple on the line, and that's not going to work. If this is a 7, you have to put 1, 2, 4 and purple on the line, and that won't work. So this must be 8, and it can't be that. There are 2 ways of adding up to 8 in 3 digits. One of them is 1, 2, 5, and that's not going to work either. So this must be 8 with 1, 3, 4 on the line. So this line is now a 1, 3, 4 purple triple. I don't really have a good way of doing that, but that's a 1, 3, 4 purple triple, and we'll just try and remember that. Actually, I'll get rid of the flashing there to indicate there is definitely purple in one of these, which it was already sort of showing, but hopefully it'll remind me that this is now not a triple. Did I say triple? I meant quadruple. So right, and that digit's a 9 now, because that digit is the sum of those 2 digits. This is absolutely beautiful. Oh, and now where does the 1 go in my quadruple? Well, it now is a triple, because I've got to put the 1 there. So this is a 3, 4 purple triple. So that cell's not 1 or 3. That's got to be a 2. So these digits, oh yeah, and now we can do maths, because that's got to be 8, and that must be 2 different from 8, which is 6. Oh, and that's, oh, I was wondering where I was going to put the 6 in this box. But of course, it goes in it is purple. So there's a 3, 4, 6 at the top and a 5, 7 pair there. And a 1-2 pair here, and a 3-4 pair here, and an 8 there by Sudoku, so I get these digits, which are 5, 7 and 9. I must know these now, they've got to be 3, 4 and 6, and I know these, which are 5, 7, oh, so there's roping, is there? Oh, sorry, yes, I didn't see that, look, there, it's roped. By roped, I mean, the moment we knew that, for example, this 281 triple appeared here, we could have said, ah, well, it must go up there, and then the other two stripes, if you like, in the rows have to mimic each other directly across the rows as well. So I could have seen that more quickly. I just failed. So what on earth do we do now? And this is one of the funny things about these puzzles, is because I've not done very many of them, I have very little intuition. Oh, so so this is 3, 4 or 6, which has to go into one of those two. Oh, yeah, okay. How? Well, actually, I know what that digit is, because these two cells have a maximum value of 2 plus 9, which is 11. And these have a minimum value of 3 plus 8, which is 11. So that must be 3, that must be 2, that must be 9. And we're away again. This must be 1. These are not 3. Now there's a 3 in one of these two cells, so we know that we're adding up to 6 on the tuning forks. Ah, it's beautiful. Right, okay. You can't put 6 into this domino because it can't be 4, 2 or 1, 5. So that's got to be the 3. This now loses its, not its religion, but it loses its grey. And those two squares are 1, 5 or 4, 6, which I don't think we know the order. 1, 5 or, sorry, not 4, 6, 2, 4. Now, do we know what this might be? Oh, 4. 4 is looking at that cell. We can do some Sudoku. Oh, so now that's not 2, 4. That's 1, 5. And now, oh, now we know that at the top. Oh, good grief, it's just all flowing now. So now these squares have got to include a 5, which means there's a 5 down here. Oh, no it doesn't. What am I talking about? Sorry, there's a 5 in here. And I've just noticed I've got 6 digits basically placed now in column 7. So those digits are known to be 2, 6 and 9, I want to say. So that circle's presumably difficult. It can't, well, it can't be 2, because that would put 6, 9 on this arrow, and we still have to add this digit in, so this would have to be a minus 10 or something like that, and that's not going to work. So that's definitely not 2. So there is a 2 on the arrow. And if, oh, it doesn't work with 6, because that's going to put 9 on the arrow. Yeah, if you put 6 here, 3 plus 6 is 9, which is the total of those 3 digits, but there's a 9 and a 2 on the arrow already. So that would have to be minus 2, which is equally wrong. So that is 9. This is 2, 6. These are 12. So that's a 4. So that's not a 4. There's a 4 over in one of, oopsie, there's a 4 in one of those 3 positions. Now, oh, look, 9 is in one of those 3 cells. And you can't put 9 in the circle, because if you do, how are you going to make this domino add up to 12? It's got to, can't be 5, 7, can't be 4, 8, can't repeat the 9, so that's not going to work. So there is a 9 on this arrow, which means that digit can't be 2 anymore. So this digit here, what is it? It's not 1, it's not 2, it can't be 3, it can't be 4, 5, 6, so it's at least a 7. So this is 7 or 8, which means, and well, this can't be 7 and 3 adding up to 10, because that would mean this was 1, 9. So this must be 8 with a 2, 9 pair, I think. And now those digits have got to be 4, 6 and 7. Therefore, these digits are 1, 5, and 8, and these digits are 3 and 7. And we've got sort of a big L of the grid filled in. Oh, and these circles now mean those digits. Oh, that's beautiful. That's absolutely gorgeous. Look, the 1, 4 in the column, what are we going to put into this square? Well, the answer, given we're trying to make these two digits add up to 5, is that must be a 2 or a 3. But now that means this has got to be a 2 or a 3, and there's a 2 here. So that's 3, that's 2, that's 2, that's 9. There's a 2 in one of these, probably, or I was going to say probably not in the circle, but I guess it could be if that was, well, actually it's not actually as constrained as I was thinking. I don't have very good intuition about this puzzle. Oh, there's a 3 though in one of those 3 cells by Sudoku. There's a 3 not there. There's no. Okay, so yeah, it's odd as well, isn't it? Because like ordinarily I would look at these 3 sort of relationships and I would have an inclination about which one I should study next. And here I have not got a Scooby-Doo. Which one of these is under the most pressure? That can't be a high digit. It can't be a 9 or an 8. But it can be literally anything else apart from 4, I think. That cell can't be 1, 2, or 3. So that's at least a 4, which means this, so that's not a 3. Okay. And that's because this digit in and of itself is at least equal to 4, so you can't put 3 there as the sum of these 2 cells. But that digit, well, that digit can't be 8 or 9. Okay, alright, so this digit here, which is the sum of a number that's at least 4, and this number, which could be a 1, has to add up. So we know that these are adding up to at least 5, but they can't be 8 or 9, so they've got to be 5, 6, or 7. So okay, that's actually very important. Yes, okay, so what's this digit, I think, is the question. Because given this is at least 4, if this isn't 1, we get too high, because we're adding a number that's at least 4 to another number that's at least 4. So in fact, the minimum they could be would be a 4, 5 pair, and that adds up to 9, which is it's 2 too many. So there must be a 1 on the circles of this arrow, and that 1 cannot go here because of Sudoku. So that's 1. One of these digits is a 1, which can't be in the middle, because I've learned by now that you can't put tiny digits in the middle of these arrows, because the 2 circles have to be summed to give the middle digit. And this digit is the difference between 5, 6, and 7 and 1. So this is 4, 5, or 6. It's not 6, look. So this is 4 or 5. So that can't be 7. And that must, well, the 1 gives us the 1 here, and that gives us the 5, which now means there's a 6 and a 5 looking at this. Oh, for goodness sake, Simon. So now we've done that, and we can, that's not a 4 anymore. I've got loads of low digits in row 4 now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these cells are all high. They are 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that's not 9, and that's not 8, and that's not 8. So where does the 8 go in this row? It goes exactly there, which maybe means we look at this column next, where we need 3, 5, 6, 7. So that's 5, 6, or 7. That's 3, 5, 6, or 7, and that's 3, 5, 6 or 7. There, I don't like the look of that. I suppose it restricts this cell very slightly. Five? Oh no, that's no use. 5's in one of those 3. 4. Oh, 1. 1 is in one of those 2. So if this wasn't 5, there would be a 1-5 pair here. Okay. Oh, look, there's a 3-8 pair. There's an 8 in those 2. So those 2 squares must be a 3-8 pair. I don't think that does anything at all. That's so strange. There's a 1 in a circle down here. So the other 2 digits must be sort of a white dot crop key digit, mustn't they? Because we're saying 1 is the difference between the sum digit and one of the numbers we're adding to 1 to make this total. So can that be a 4? No, actually that can't be a 4. Because if that's a 4, that has to be a 1-3 pair, and that's going to break that cell. So that's not 4. Which might be important, I'm not sure. Can't put 9 in here because that's going to break the 8. So if you put 9 in there, you have to have 1 and 8 adding to it. That breaks that. So this, if this is 7, you've got to have 1, 6 here. Ah, okay. Alright, that doesn't work either. If that's a 7, because you've got to have 1, 6 into these cells, what are you going to put into those cells? And the answer is 2 9s, and that's not going to work. So let's just think about this a bit harder then. So this can't be 7 now. It can't be 6 because that would be 1 plus 5, which is going to break that. It can't be 5 because there's already 5 in the column. We've said it can't be 4 because that's going to break that cell. So the only thing it can be is 3, he says, thinking, is this going to break as well? I think 3 might work. 3 with a 1-2 pair gives us that digit, but doesn't break that cell. And now this column is complete apart from a 6, 7, 9 triple, which means that's not 2. So that, I see. So this is a 2 in this circle. This is a 6, 7 or 9. And we've got the 3, 8 pair in this row. So these squares have got to be from 4, 6 and 7 as well. That square's got to be from 6, 7 and 9 because we've got a triple of 6, 7, 9 left in the box. These squares are a 1-2 pair. Now, can we restrict this cell is I think the next question to ask. And the answer to that is I don't know, but I can see this can't be a 3. Because if this was a 3, these 2 would add up to 5, and they'd either have to be 2, 3, which they couldn't be if this was a 3, or 1, 4, and they couldn't be that either. Now, if this was 5, these 2 squares would have to add up to 7. They'd have to be 1, 6, because they couldn't be 3, 4, and they couldn't be 2, 5. If this was 6, these would have to add up to 8, and they couldn't be 2, 6. So they'd have to be 1, 7 or 3, 5. Oh, that could be 3, 5 in that order, or 1, 7 in either order, I think. And if that's 7, probably there are a million ways to fill this, because, well, not a million, not literally a million, but quite a few. So all that would be ruled out would be 2, 7 and 4, 5. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, 3 here. Let's do some Sudoku. 3 and 7 come out. Ah, okay, well that gets rid of the naughty 7 I was worried about here. So those 2 squares now are either That's 5. These are adding up to 7. And they have to be 1, 6. And if this is 6, these have to be... this is quite important actually, because before, when this was 6, I noted these could be a 3, 5 pair, which they now cannot be. So they have to be a 1, 7 pair, so that square would be the 7. So actually there's always a 1 now on this arrow. Oh, which doesn't actually... it doesn't do anything, but I've just noticed I've got 6 here, so I should keep doing Sudoku. Keep doing Sudoku, Simon. Yes, keep doing Sudoku. Where does 2 go in this box? 2, 2, 2 here. Means that's a 2, which means that's a 1, that's a 2. I've broken it. I have broken it this time. Bobbins. Okay, what did I do wrong there? Oops. Oh, I know what I did wrong. I've just realised what I did wrong. And it's right now, which is great. All I did was, when I was looking at the options for this, I left the 6 in and then said, oh, and that 6 is looking at the 2, 6 pair, which of course it needn't be if this is a 5. So what we've actually just done is prove that this needs to be a 5. But we did that by the method of madness, that is leaving a number in that shouldn't have been left in. So I wouldn't have done that. That's not how I would have solved it, so I won't allow myself to use that. But I did note that there was a... Oh, I see. No, it's simple. It's simple. All I needed to do to solve it fairly was to note that there has to be a 2 at the bottom of here, and then think about whether this 2 could go in here, because it clearly can't, because this would then be a 3 as well. 2 plus 1. We get 2 3s in box 7. So what we could have realised then is that this can't be the 2, so this is the 2, and that does the opposite to this 2, 6 pair that putting a 6 in there was going to do. So that's 2, that's 6, that's 5. Now this has got to be a 1, 6 pair to add up to 7, and that 6 tells us the order. And that's a 1. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It has a lovely, lovely flow to it, this puzzle. That's not 6 now, so what's going on in this column? Have we got some sort of... maybe not quite. I was wondering whether that was 3, 4, 5. No, it's not that good. Well, actually, we should probably pencil mark this bottom box a bit. That square there can't be 5 anymore. Can't be 6 anymore because of this 6. So that's 3 or 7. That can't be 5 anymore. So 5 can't go here. It must go there. So that's 5. That's 7. I've got a 4, 6 pair in this column. So these 2 cells at the bottom have got to be an 8, 9 pair, which I can do using this 9. So that's 9. That's 8. That's not 8, that's not 1 or 5, that's 8. So now this circle has become 3 or 7, I want to say, and that means we can isolate the value. Oh, we can do this. We can get this cell, because it can't be 4. And if this is 3, it would need to be 4. So hopefully that's a 7, that's a 3. So that's a 6, 4, 3. That's a 6, that's a 7, that's a 9, that's a 4. This, I think, is cracking now. That's got to be not a 9. That's got to be not... Oh, that is a 7 by Sudoku. 7, 6, 4 go in there. 7 comes out of these squares and leaves a 6, 9 pair behind. That cell's known to be a 7. That's a 9. That's a 9. That's a 6. That's a 2. Have we just... Is it just... done now? It might be. 3 here gives us the 3 and the 8. Yeah, it's finished, isn't it? I think we know this digit, but oh, I messed it up again. This is the second ricket, because this can't work. Oh dear, that's weird. That's really weird, because that felt logical that time. Did I leave another digit in? Is now what I'm worried about. Is this 1, 2? Oh, this 1, 2 isn't the right way around. I've got 2 2s in this row. How did I get this? How did I get this order then? Wow. Because I can see that if this 1, 2 was the other way round, this would actually disambiguate and would work. So how did I get this order? Okay. I mean, I think... Right, we should do the honest thing. I'm pretty sure I've just mistyped this. But I think I've got to go back. Oh, what did I... So actually I've put this 1 at the bottom ages ago. Why did I put that there? Oh, I left it in. I've done the same thing, haven't I? I've put 2, 1, 3 and I've left it in. So okay. So hopefully I think we can see, because this is what I did. I put the 2 here to demonstrate the effect of putting the 2 here. Made this a 1. Left it in after I've disproved that this could be a 3, and I've left this there. And then the next time I've used the logic of this 1, let's double check. Did I use it for anything else? I haven't used it yet that I've seen. Now I might have used it to give me a 5 here. Did I do that? No. How did I get rid of... No, so in fact I didn't, bizarrely. I scanned this row 8 and I've noticed this is an 8. Okay, and I got this to being 3, 7. And I worked out it couldn't be 3, didn't I? So this became 7, and this is where it's broken. But I haven't noticed it's broken yet. All this stuff I'm doing in the middle is completely fine. It's not using that logic at all. So this is all fine, this is all fine. Then I come down to this, where I put this 2 in, and there's a repeated 2 in this row. But of course, I never actually disambiguated these. So this 2 should have told me this was a 1, this is a 2, and now that can be a 9. And that, I think, should get us out of trouble. Thank goodness for rewindable software. But you can see the date. Oh no, no, it's not. Now there's another mistake. Why is this a 9? Oh, because this is a 7. Oh gosh, you know what else has gone wrong? You know what else has gone wrong? I've just realised. Let's come back here. This is a complete Horlicks. When I looked at the options for this being 3, 7, I was using a 1 here, which wasn't justified. And we've just discovered this is a 2. So these are also reversible. So we've got to go, hang on. So this is 3, 7, and then I made that 7, and that, I think I will have to come all the way back. But I do know what the solution is now. The point is, this was a 1, 2 at this point. And this was a 3, 7. Now this 2 at that point was available to give us 1 and 2, and now you can see if this is 7, that's 9 and it breaks. So that's 3, that's 7, that's 1, that's 5, and I apologise for this messing around. And now hopefully this is 4, 9, and you can see the order is known. This is now not 9. The 3 and the 8 are still resolved in this row. Everything in the middle should just be done. 6, 4, 7, 9. Now this square's 4, 6, 3. This square's not 9 anymore. These squares aren't able to be 6 anymore, so that's the 6. 7, 9 pair in this column. What are those 2 digits? 7s and 8s, which we can do. 8s and 7s. This has got to be a, well, that's now a 5 by maths, and that gives us the 7, the 9, the 5 here, the 9 and the 7 here. That's a 4, that's a 6, that's a 7, and that, what do we get in the corner? Nothing worthy of a song, but still, I think that is the correct solution. So a bit of a ricket, I admit, a bit of a ricket towards the end, but I'm less bothered by that ricket than I am sometimes, because that ricket was just caused by me doing an explanation of something and then stupidly leaving a digit in the explanation I'd just done and not removing it. Had I removed this cell from being, I think I made it a 1, didn't I? I think it would have been a smooth solve. I think it would have been, but obviously it wasn't. But yeah, it's a bit of a lesson in not leaving in pencil marks that are unjustified, and also the value of being able to rewind software. So that's Grodus for you. So I enjoyed that mightily. Jakhob and wooferzfg, very cute puzzle, especially, I will say, this stuff around this top box. Absolutely beautiful, that is. That start was beautiful. I love this tuning fork logic here. What I didn't love was that cell. That cell is particularly naughty. Let me know in the comments how you got on, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.